Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. We pumping back in the green, 2.5% away from 100K. Send it. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as the latest from Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, as well as his latest predictions. Also, breaking news: Trump announces pro-crypto Paul Atkins to lead the SEC chair. Goodbye, Gary Gensler. Now go home and get your shine box. Also, quoting Max Kaiser, dominance will be determined by who has Bitcoin dominance, not the oil. He who has the Bitcoin makes the rules. Trump is still learning about the biddy. We'll also be discussing breaking news. El Salvador's digital assets issuer raises $30 million via U.S. Treasury offering, as well as martial law causes Bitcoin to crash to 65 Gs. In South Korea, we'll be discussing why, as well as is the U.S. government really poised to add Bitcoin to its national reserve? I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin supply shortage can trigger big Bitcoin chase, according to Fundstrat's Tom Lee. I'll be breaking down his bullish multiple six-figure targets, and we'll also be discussing when the government money printing will finally push the Bitcoin price to $1 million per coin, according to Arthur Hayes Just Blaze, founder of the BitMEX exchange. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And just like that, the entire market is back in the green. If you're new to the channel, important to smash the likes. Go ahead, subscribe, then hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode 1838. I'm your host, JV, and today may be the day. We're just above 98,000 at the time of the live stream. We're up over 2,500 on the day, less than 2% away from 100K, and look how fast we're climbing. And the crowd is going wild. We got a new SEC chairman in the building. Trump made the announcement. It's official. We'll be covering all this, a lot to share in the show today. But anyways, today is December 4th, 2024. I'm your host, JV. Another spectacular day in the market. Checking out the crypto or Coin 360. You can see everything back in the green. Ether made a big step up 8% on the day. Bitcoin up 2.5%, climbed back above 98 Gs. BNB is up 7%, Tron up 12%, virtually everything pumping minus HBAR, XRP, and Cardano. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. Holy moly, the highest we've ever seen it. All-time high, price discovery, 3.57 trillion. Crypto market cap, let's go. The Bitcoin market cap about to hit 2 trillion for the first time in history. It's currently $1.94 trillion. And as far as volume is concerned, let's check this out. We got 269 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance still on the decline, ironic enough, 53.9%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We have the Sandbox leading the pack, up 37% on the day. We got Curve Down up 32% and Mantle up 25%. Which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla at your boy, fam. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the daily. Virtually the entire market doing a fantastic job. And zooming out on the monthly, I mean, HBAR up 600%, XLM 450%. I know XRP is up close to 400%, Algo 359%, CRV 400%. Pretty much all the alts are up hundreds of percent. Virtually. It's pretty wild. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, today we're at 78. Extreme greed. Yesterday at 76. Last week at 75. And last month at 70 in greed. And checking out the time chain calendar. We have 176,752 blocks to go into the next halving, April of 2028. We're currently on block number 872,248. Yes, you got caffeinated JV today. If you couldn't tell, now you know. And you can currently exchange $1 for 1,043 sats. Stack those stats. Yeah, let's go. Here's the latest technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies, and we're pumping so fast I'll pull up the live charts here shortly. Bottom, I think, is in. What are your thoughts? Bitcoin bounced from the weekly lows December 4th as analysts demanded a reclaim of the weekly open. Here you're looking at the 1 hour chart, and here shortly I'll be pulling up the live charts. That's how we roll. The kimchi premium, we'll be discussing that in greater detail. For those that don't know, I covered it in the pod. South Korea declared martial law, and they have some big crypto exchanges over there, including BitHump, I think BitThumb, and a few of the others. And the Bitcoin price literally crashed temporarily, which is ironic. Is that like an inside job? I don't know. We'll dive deeper into that later. But here's what Scoo wrote. Lows got rated into the New York Open before the reversal. Ideally want to see the price above 95. Well, here's the good news. We're currently above 98.5 and roughly 1% away from price discovery discovery. It don't get more lit than that. Now, Rec Capital shared Bitcoin continues to retest the series of lower highs as support, producing longer downside wicks. As long as this continues, Bitcoin should be able to reclaim the 96.4 support. Well, guess what? Again, we're above 98.5, well, virtually 1% away from price discovery. So let's see what else is here. Bitcoin retail come back in the numbers. Retail must prevail. You know the difference between this cycle and the previous? Previous cycle peak was purely driven from the retail prevail. This time purely driven from the institutional FOMO and now the nation state FOMO. I don't even think the retail have moved yet. I think once we surpass 100 G's, they'll start coming late to the party. But what are your thoughts? Let's just get right to the charts, shall we, broskies? I mean, ain't got any time to waste today. Here's the live chart action. Jackson, Bitcoin making big moves, currently above 98.6. We're pumping so fast you can't even keep up on the screen. This is wild, gentlemen. Let's zoom out. This is the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 hour and get a broader perspective. You can clearly see we're pumping like a mofo. Big hourly green candles, 4 consecutive. We do have a bull target. Again, this is live right now during the live stream. 107 sitting on the Coinbase exchange on the 1 hour chart. That's our target in play right now, which is virtually what Greg just called 108,000. Next likely target. Happy 420 in advance, broskies. And zooming out to the 4 hour, very bullish formation as well. You can see the past 8 hours have been bullish. We do have a green target top for bullish pennant, right in alignment with Greg's target at 108,000 as well. So the 1 hour and the 4 hour are both showing bullish pennant, $108,000 target breakouts. Let's see if that is accurate here for today. You just never know with the biddy. And checking out on the daily, big green candle forming. We've had a corrective past couple of days, but it's all good. Next leg up. Live and in the flesh, we're above 98.7, virtually 1% away from price frickin' discovery. Let's go, gentlemen. And zooming out, we check out the 1 week. We still have the sexy cup and handle target in play, sitting at 124,000. That could happen any moment. Q4, we're in December, family. Year of the halving, year of the dragon. And don't get more lit. And zooming out to the monthly. You notice that huge Moonvember monthly candle close? Well, hopefully December can dwarf it. All I'm saying is I'm optimistic. Anything can happen with the biddy as we're approaching 99,000 so fast it'll make your head spin. How do you like that? So there you go, bros. Let me know your thoughts with that. And I also want to share some breaking news as well. So let me get back and then I'll get to the comments, I promise, as we're marching to 100 G's. I think we're going to capture it here on the stream. I also wanted to share with you Plan B. He made these predictions. We've covered it. A lot of scenarios, and he's pretty accurate. He called it October Bitcoin 70 G's. November 100 G's. Actually, it was 99.8, all-time high, but close enough, plus the largest 26 monthly candle ever. Up next is the December 150,000. Do you think his predictions will remain as accurate as they have been thus far? Let me know your thoughts, because that's a pretty bold target and I think it's very doable, but I want to know your thoughts. And in other breaking news, Donald Trump made this announcement. I am delighted to announce the nomination Paul Atkins, aka Nippinator, to be the next chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Paul is a proven leader for common sense regulations. He believes in the promise of robust, innovative capital markets that are responsive to the needs of investors, that provide capital to make our economy the best in the world. He also recognizes digital assets and other innovations are crucial to making America the greatest than ever before. That's a win. Gary Gensler, you're out. Now go home and get your shine box. And quoting Max, the one and only high priest, dominance will be determined by who has the Bitcoin dominance, not the oil. He who has the biddy makes the rules. Trump is still learning about Bitcoin. Pretty accurate. Next story. El Salvador's digital asset issuer raises $30 million via the U.S. Treasury offering. And my announcement, I booked my plane tickets and my hotel. I will officially be in El Salvador in roughly a month. And I will be spending the week there hanging with the Bitcoin OGs. I hope to see you guys there as well. El Salvador's digital asset issuer, Next Bridge, has closed a $30 million public issuance backed by the United States Treasury bills. And shout out to ZK. We appreciate you joining the HODL gang, supporting the stream. The offering of the USTBL as the first publicly listed issuance was completed in Moonvember through Bitfinex Securities, which is the sister company to stablecoin issuer Tether. And according to the Next Bridge, each USTBL issuance will correspond to a proportionate share of assets under management with a target total issuance of $200 million worth of the U.S. Treasury securities. USTBL is a regulated public offering that was built on the Bitcoin blockchain, runs through the Layer 2 protocol Liquid network. Let me know if you guys have heard of that. And according to the Next Bridge founder, Michelle, USTBL can be traded on the secondary market, though redemptions will be available only in March of 2025. Quoting them here, we will offer different mechanisms for redemption. The first one will be directly managed by the exchanges where the USTBL is available. We plan to allow dynamic redemptions and subscriptions directly in the order of the book. USTBL is subject to El Salvador's securities laws and is overseen by the country's digital asset agency, the National Commission for Digital Assets. Next, Bridge's offering comes amid a proliferation of tokenized T-bills hitting the market. Products from OpenEden, BlackRock, and Franklin Templeton all launched this year. BlackRock's USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund attracted more than $447 million in assets under management since inception in March. Tokenized treasuries are a digital representation of the U.S. Treasury securities on the blockchain. The tokenization of these assets enhances liquidity, making them easier to buy and sell, and reduces settlement times, allowing global investors to gain exposure to digital assets backed by the U.S. government. And according to Dune Analytics, the value of the government securities on-chain currently sit at $2.3 billion, below market expectations of reaching $3 billion by the end of this year. We got less than a month to go, gentlemen. Tokenization potential goes beyond the government securities and other financial products. Some use cases of illiquid assets on-chain already include real estate and agricultural goods, and we all know it's going to zero against the biddy. So shout out to El Salvador. Bitcoin country, baby. Let's go. 100 G's in play. Whatever it takes. We're going to keep the stream rolling until we hit 100K. Let's discuss martial law. And I ain't talking martial law from the Tekken video game. We're talking real martial law. It occurred yesterday in South Korea for 2 hours, tanking the market. Here we go. Headline reads, martial law causes Bitcoin crash to 65,000 in South Korea. Here's why. Shout out to the short coin. This gong strikes for you. Thanks for always supporting the stream. We love you. Raising vibration, one gong strike at a time. The disappearance of key market players and liquidity crisis contributed to a 30,000 drop of the Bitcoin price on South Korean platforms after President Yoon declared martial law. This happened yesterday, gentlemen. I woke up to it. December 3rd, Yoon imposed martial law during a live television address. Interesting. Citing a need to eliminate the anti-state elements and address threats posed by North Korea's communist forces. The declaration triggered immediate market disruptions, with Bitcoin on the South Korean exchange Upbit dropping to as low as 92 million won. That's crazy. That means Bitcoin on their exchange dropped all the way down to 65,000. You can see that big red candle here in their chart. One analyst attributed the sharp decline to a sudden disappearance of liquidity. According to the trader, the lack of active participants caused the imbalance between bids and asks, resulting in a 10% spread during the crisis. Now, later, the trader said the drop would not be this brutal if the liquidity was normal. Still, they said that during the martial law declaration, all the players just disappeared from the market. Was this an inside job? What do you think was really going on, broskies? The reason is simple. It is shockingly hard to enter the Korean market and trade there. This means that only a few of the players can provide liquidity and arbitrage those discrepancies, which are the big players, I would say, the whales. South Korean traders paid the price for limiting the market to only a few players, according to the trader, who said the price volatility could have been mitigated with broader market maker participation. The trader highlighted the massive sell pressure on all the instruments behind the sudden drop. Despite this, they said the market overreacted, and the extreme price drop would not have happened if more liquidity providers had been participating. Hours after the martial law declaration, 190 of the lawmakers in South Korea's parliament voted to nullify the martial law declaration. Yoon accepted the decision and lifted the order, easing the tensions. Following the reversal, Bitcoin prices rebounded, trading at around 135 million won, 95,000 USD. Market observers noted the temporary crisis highlighted the vulnerability of the South Korea crypto market to liquidity shocks, particularly during times of political instability. How many of you here have been to South Korea? I've been there. Obviously, I've never lived there, but I'm curious. What are your thoughts on this? What's really going on? Why would they declare martial law for 2 hours? Inside job? Let me know. I'll read your comments out loud. We discussed martial law, eh? Now we're going to discuss, is the U.S. government poised to add Bitcoin to the National Reserve? I think so. Trump already ultimately promised it. He said he's going to stockpile the biddy. Cynthia Lummis already made a declaration of acquiring 4 million of the biddy. Wow. Massive shout out to Grant Noakes. He just gifted a $50 super. That's very kind of you. He says, like Mel Fisher said, today is the day. This gong's for you, brother. 100K in play any moment. Greatly appreciate your support, brothers. Here we go. Could Bitcoin, the world's leading crypto, become a part of the U.S. National Reserve? Oh, it will. Mark my words. But anyways, what once seemed like a far-fetched idea is now gaining traction, especially now that Trump is coming to the White House. The Trump pump. Let's go. The concept of the strategic Bitcoin reserve has become the subject of serious discussion and going to reshape both the U.S. economy and the global financial landscape. National reserves, they say slow down, JV. No, I'm only going to go faster. Traditionally compromising gold, foreign currencies, and commodities like oil acting as the nation's financial safety net. Bitcoin proponents argue that its decentralized nature and cap supply make it a powerful inflation hedge. Similar to the gold, the U.S. already holds over 200,000 of the Bitty, seized during criminal investigations. But some lawmakers like Cynthia Lummis want to take it a step further. Lummis's Bitcoin Act proposes the U.S. acquire up to 1 million of the Bitty over 5 years, funded by reallocating existing federal assets. States like Pennsylvania already considering the Bitty investments, potentially setting the precedent for the federal action. Critics, however, point to the Bitcoin volatility and the risk of the government control over the decentralized asset. Despite these concerns, experts predict there is a creation of the U.S. Bitcoin reserve, driving the price to unprecedented levels, with some estimates reaching 500 Gs or even 1.1 million per coin by yours truly. Anyways, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the United States of America adopts Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset? I already know it's a done deal. Also, guess what? Mikey Saylor, the one and only MicroStrategy founder, he just gave a second speech to the board of directors about Microsoft adopting Bitcoin to their treasury. Can you say Bitcoin for the treasury? Can you say game theory? Can you say nation state adoption? Can you say pension fund adoption? Can you say Saudi Arabia adoption? That's all I'm saying. Can you say Nippinator adoption? I adopted him 6 years ago. He's a rescue pup. So here we go. Let's discuss 250,000 target in play, and then we'll discuss the $1 million prediction. Then we'll pump watch to 100,000. Done deal. Make her happen, Captain. Headline reads, Bitcoin supply shortage could trigger the big Bitcoin chase, according to the fund strat. Thomas Lee, that's right, Chief Investment Officer of the Financial Research Boutique, believes. It reminds me of Minnie's Boutique. I used to watch Mickey Mouse with my daughter as a kid. There was Minnie's Boutique, but we're talking about Tom Lee's Boutique here. Bitcoin can face a supply shock. Once it clears 100 Gs, we're only less than 1% away, broskies. He says Bitcoin scarcity is starting to be the problem. Lee says the dwindling supply of the available Bitty for sale will likely be felt once Bitcoin shatters the psychological price point of 100,000. Again, less than 1% away. History in the making. Today is the day. I think some of this could be. There's a lot of the folks who don't want Bitcoin over 100,000. They're called trolls and haters and no coiners. And some of it and lizard folk, maybe the exchanges themselves that are concerned because there's a pretty low supply of the Bitcoin available over the counter. So you have a supply shortage, and if Bitcoin makes a move above 100,000, I think there would be a big chase. So I'm still confident Bitcoin's going to be close much higher before the year's end, well above 100,000 before the year end. Just a matter of time, maybe today. Recently, Lee hopped on the interview. I think we covered that yesterday with Skybridge Capital founder Scott Mucci, who just did the book signing the other day. Even had Michael Saylor there. Giving it a 12-month outlook for the Bitty, and according to the fund strat exec, Bitcoin could witness 150% gains, sending Bitcoin at 250 Gs, quoting him here. Over the next 12 months, I think something over 250,000 is possible, but maybe highly probable based on just following the price cycle. So he says highly probable, meaning it's going to happen. 250,000. Bear scenario, gentlemen. 1.1 million for the bull. I already shared my predictions, but what do I know? I'm just a podcaster. Anyways, now for our feature story of the day. Here's when the government money printing will push the Bitty price to $1 million, according to Just Blaze. Arthur Hayes, the former BitMEX founder. Bring it. In a new interview posted on Block Media, Arthur Hayes, Just Blaze, says he believes Bitcoin will eventually reach $1 million in value over the next 5 years. Why so bearish, Arthur? Anyways, I've been on record many times saying I think Bitcoin will end the year at around $100,000. Obviously, we're close to that mark. Then the next question is, where do I think Bitcoin is going to be? 3, 4, 5 years down the road. As I'll get into in a bit, I believe that the secular trend is for more money printing globally. That's not going to stop. And as such, my Bitcoin 1 million price prediction, I believe, can happen within the next 5 years. JV's calling it for next year as my bull scenario, 1.1 million in play. But hey, we can't all be as bullish as JV apparently. According to Hayes, most governments of the world simply cannot afford to cut the expenses and raise the taxes, and will be forced into expanding the monetary supply in order to pay off the debt. He says the phenomenon is one of the main reasons he's so bullish on the crypto. Quoting Arthur Hayes, Just Blaze again. And so again, What are the key factors driving this confidence that I have in the continuation of the bull market? It centers on money printer go brr. At the end of the day, the largest economic blocks in countries, United States, China, Japan, the European Union, just about every other country around the world, including South Korea, which just announced martial law yesterday, are printing the money. They have different goals and policies, and they want to afford, but they can't afford with the taxes. That'll piss the people off. And so they're printing the money. This is a trend that went into overdrive starting in 2008, when Satoshi obviously came up with the Bitcoin white paper, and amen to that. And the Genesis block, which was in 2009 on January 3rd. I don't believe that's a quinky dink, that the birth of the Bitcoin and the crypto ecosystem coincided with one of the largest financial crises since 1930s. He's right there. And so that's why I'm very confident that crypto, which predominantly is priced in fiat, can rise. And as we have seen, Bitcoin is the best performing asset in human history, from zero in 2009 to close to 2 trillion of a market cap, which it can hit 2 trillion today, family. We're so close. We're on the cusp. This is unprecedented. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes' just blaze and the 1 milli Bitcoin price prediction, as we're currently 0.6% from price discovery. And I'm going to tell you my targets again for the cycle. Bear scenario, 2025 cycle peak, 250,000 in play. Our very own Oracle believes this is in play for Q4 here in December. I'm not as bullish for Q4 here, but next year, I'm pretty confident 250 is my bear scenario, or I wouldn't wrote it down. My base case, 420 for the broskies. Bull scenario, next year, 1.1 million. More bullish than Samson Mount. There you have it. So let's convert this mofo into a pump watch. Let's pull up some of the live charts, and welcome to the Q&A segment of the live stream. 100K in play, broskies. Let's see, what chart should we pull up? This is the monthly. Let's zoom her in. Zoom her in, JV. Here's the it looks like we're correcting right at 99. I got 99 problems with the bitty A1. We're going to leave it on the 1 minute for a moment here. This is history in the making. We've never seen this type of price action, but like one other time? Was it 2 weeks ago? And we're about to break it. Get the high priest to send it. Please, high priest. Play the Chandy Jam. Which one is it going to be? We'll play a Chandy Jam. Shout out Chandy. Always jamming. 100 is going to happen, Cam. 420, let's go. And we also have a live poll. I asked the question, when 100K? This week, before the end of December. Janbull, Febbull. Don't be shy, strangers. Come on now. We're literally $700 away. Come on now. You feel the momentum? Sorry, South Korea. Martial law is not going to stop Bitcoin from hitting 100 G's. Strawberry Moon, you got it. We're going to listen to some Chandy Jams. I'm going to be reading comments out loud, and we're going to be celebrating. This is the victory lap. Repost the stream. Spread the word. Don't be shy.
Strawberry destiny, under the moon by fire. Strawberry full moon, take me, light it up, fire it up, a fire under a full moon.
Dankness says 10-second chart. We are climbing so fast. I think that's relevant. Let's do that. We're climbing so fast. Let's just zoom in for you guys. Look at that. More targets on screen. Well said there, Dankness. I agree with you. We're going to leave this chart up and watch Bitcoin usher above 100 and hopefully just shoot to 180. Wouldn't that be something? Refresh. Oh, we're 180. Haha. Take that, no coiners. Sucks to be hodling gold right now. Wouldn't you say, Peter Schiffmeister? 1 second chart. Haha. I might have to.
Fill me up, fill my cup. Kind of Bitcoin power moon. Fill me up and raise it up. Pretty please. Strawberry, fly to the moon. Come, I need you to come with me. Whoa, full moon, baby up. Star Aquarius, I'm just so curious. Just a little curious. Libra, wanna pump Bitcoin under the full moon with me. Imagine dragons, 2024, year of the dragon. Thunder, before the lightning. I'm thirsty, are you feeling thunder? Are you feeling hunger? I'm craving being under the thunder. Let's pump the bitty. Doing. Danger V, do you have anything anything to say, rap with me, baby.
This is the chance for all my Bitcoin champs to do the moonlight Bitcoin dance.
I hit him up like Pac with the Bitcoin rants. My balls is hot sitting in my big boy pants. I trust the biddy. Hey now. I got a feeling that might be next, brother. Let's go. We're using TradingView, broskies. So this is the #1 charting software website. It's free. You can go create a TradingView account. You get access, I think, up to 3 indicators. I have the Primo account, so we can do a little more fancy things. But nonetheless, TradingView.com is what I'm using. This is via Coinbase. This is live and in the flesh. This is the day, family. A big day in play. 100K. Let's just skip to 1.1 million. Again, why play games? Uncensored. You got JV Uncensored on YouTube, X, and Rumble. There's a rare breed. 10 Sat Commandments by Biggie. I'll give you a taste of the 10 Sat Commandments. Rest in peace, Biggie Smalls. Who would have thunk Biggie was a Bitcoiner and Bitcoin didn't even exist when he passed? But don't matter. He was ahead of his time. One of the prophets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 Sats Commandments. Came into this game and it made me get animal.
There's levels to this shit. I wrote me a manual. Big ups, Dub Proof. The indicator I'm using that auto charts everything is called All Chart Patterns. It's one of the billions of indicators you can choose from. And it makes life easy because I don't pretend to be the chartist. Like, I find it funny when people like, what's his name? Is it Garrett Soloway? They have like a 100-inch monitor and they look at the charts and then they want you to believe they understand what they're talking about. Oh, Bitcoin's going to zero. Here's where you do the short, and they do the witchcraft. I'm not into that bullshit. Like, go fuck yourself, losers. Let the AI do what it does. I don't pretend to know the direction of the Bitcoin. It goes up and down every day. Can we keep it 100? I have no fucking idea what's going to happen. Except one thing. 1.1 million in play. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it. One thing I can't guarantee is the day. One thing I can't guarantee is the day. And it's simple as that. Gareth is an undercover lizard. Yeah, if he's not a lizard and he doesn't have the lizard tail, he probably works for the folks that do, and he gets payola. That's how the world works, gentlemen. Wait till I get my money right. Lil Kanye, Lil Ye, Lil Yeezy. Wait till I get my money right. Nah, nah, nah. Classic. 2024, Year of the Dragon.
I hit them up like Pac. The Bitcoin rants, my balls is hot, sit in my big boy pants.